So the show looks good, doesn't it? Now, even if you were like me, not the best gardener in the world, stay with us because the fun of choosing things from Roberta's is you're going to find things that you wouldn't necessarily find elsewhere, and you're going to get all the information. It'll be delivered to your door when it's the right time, and then you have everything to set you up for success so that you can have the beauty in your garden that you want. So we're going to begin, and the very first item that we're going to talk about is the one that I mentioned in our preview, was the very first item ever from Roberta's back in the 1960s, and that is the Good Luck Oriental Totem Pole. We've got it for you today, $24.70 is the price. It is on 4 easy monthly payments of $6.18 with your free shipping and handling. Over 10,000 of these trees have been ordered here on QVC. It's been extremely popular, continues to be. So let's say hello to the Wallin family. 4 generations bringing fantastic things to help us be successful in the garden. And so both Devin and Derek are joining me. Hi.
Hey, we also have Court and Eric joining us just for a moment.
Oh,
Bring
my
it out.
goodness.
Come say hi.
Hi.
Miss you. Leah, we love you.
Oh, I love you guys. It's so good to see you all. This is going to be so much fun. And I love that we're starting with the very first item ever.
Yeah, it's a family plant, a family affair here.
Tradition. It's a tradition here. Every kid in our family gets one of these fire logs, basically, when you're 5, 6 years old, just old enough to understand what to do. And we're going to talk about that. Because actually, you know, the people you just saw, plus my brother and I, we've never had a job outside of selling and growing plants. We love it, and we owe that to our great-grandmother, who in 1964 took something, the same plant but a lot smaller version, to the New York World's Fair, and just people loved it. And she said, "Oh my gosh, I love selling plants. People love buying plants. Let's do this forever." And we've kept it up now for like 50 years. It's crazy. But what we're looking at here is a house plant, which is truly amazing because we all want that spark of life in the corner of the room, you know, on the kitchen table, but we don't want to have to baby it. We don't want to have to be, you know, stuck to it all the time, wondering, oh, is it gonna get enough light, enough water? What we're looking at is a super low maintenance house plant. It can be in your basement with no natural light and live and be happy about it, or in a nice sunny window. And what you're seeing here is this beautiful strapping leaves with that alternating color, that sort of more yellow chartreuse color down the middle, and then this dark leafy green on the outside gives it a nice pop of color in any room in the house. And they're very, very easy to grow, and they're fun to grow, and they're unique because it's not something that you see everywhere.
Absolutely. All right, so talk to me about what I'm going to receive, what gets delivered, and then what we're going to do as soon as we get it.
Yeah, so actually what we ship to your door free of charge is this nice honkin', it's actually a cutting that we harvest from our farms down in South America. And the great thing about this, compared to other other totem poles like this, they're never going to be quite as thick as ours. Our plants our cuttings are from 25-year-old plants. Wow. That's why they're so thick. So when you get this home, if you don't remember what I'm about to say, I have instructions that come with every item. Basically outlines everything you need to know. So it's super easy. But really and truly, all you do, you take your cutting, you take your log, with a nice dull butter knife, and on the red side, that's where you're going to be removing the wax.
There's a red side, but there's a green side too.
Okay.
It's 2 sides of wax. The wax keeps the moisture in water inside, so it doesn't dry out.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Derek. And then you take your knife and you scrape off the red wax. Once you have, you know, mostly scraped off, a nice clear vase, nice clear glass filled with water, you soak it in the water until you start to see growth coming out of the sides and then some roots coming out of the bottom. Once you have some growth started, then you transport it into a nice container full of soil just like this.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Wow.
so what you're seeing here, you know, tends to be plants, they start at the soil and it takes time for them to grow up to be tall like these pictures, but you're starting off with them already about a foot tall. And then all we're looking for is this leaf growth, which adds another foot after a few weeks. This is the progression you can see here. When it's in the water, it has a little bit of leaves. When you first planted it up in some soil, and then after a few months of growth, they're special because, you know, for me personally, I have a very large one of these that I've been growing for about 4 years in my kitchen, right up in the corner. I think I water that once a month. I usually forget to even do that. Never showed any signs of stress or trouble. And yet, it's a showpiece. Everyone that goes into my house, they're like, oh my gosh, this makes your room look so nice. I'm saying, yeah, I'm a pro gardener. It takes a lot of time. You could probably never do. No, it's actually the easiest thing in the world, but it makes any room spectacular.
I love it. You look, yes, you know, even if we want to, we can pretend like, oh, it's so complicated, but it's not.
Yep.
And the other thing too is, it's interesting. I was reading, just like I enjoy home decor magazines, and one of the things they were talking about was the importance of adding green into your home and living if possible. And for a lot of people, the only reason we don't do that is because we think it's hard. We think it's challenging. Like you said, we think we have to baby. All I'm doing is taking that log, that cutting, putting it in water and just following those directions. And what I love is it adds that beautiful greenery, and I can see that in a kitchen, I can see that in a living room, I can see it in an office, I mean, anywhere in our home. So I do want to just give everybody the information again, because two things. We have our own dedicated phone line here on QVC too, so if you'd like to speak with a representative to place your order, you can. But as we're bringing you this entire hour of Roberta's, I love that we're starting with the very first product ever sold by this 4-generation family of bringing wonderful, exotic, exciting things that are, yeah, beautiful to look at, but easy to grow. So the item number is M61669. $24.70 is the price. By the way, many people are ordering more than one. And the Easy Pay works out to $6.18. The shipping and handling is free. Phone number to call, 800-500-7590. Now, is there, just so we know, is there a particular place, really, do we, as we're getting started, sun, shade, does it matter, really, the best place to start once we get our cutting at home?
Yeah, so I mean, when you have it in the water stage, which is about 4 to 6 weeks, it doesn't really need any light. Okay. We like to put it in a sunny window only because once you get little leaf buds, that may encourage further growth. But once you have it in the stage where, you know, it's already potted and got some leaves, I mean, truly, this is a low light plant. Wow. If you give it some filtered sunlight through the kitchen window, great. If you have it in the basement, it's going to be fine. I wanted to mention something that, you know, part of it, because you mentioned we don't have plants in the house because we think it's hard, but this is, I mean, if you can bake a cake with a recipe, you've already done something more complex than taking this home and like, especially doing something with your kids or your grandkids.
Sure.
This is such a fun science experiment that they get to watch and take care of over time.
Yeah.
I did that with my daughter last year, and we have a smaller one in her bedroom that she takes care of named Billy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Derek, there are a lot of people placing their order, and many people are getting more than one, and I agree 100%. It's such a wonderful way to encourage your kids to enjoy growing things. So let us know, everybody, if you'd like it. M61669.